this column right in front of me. Hat tip for Gat Man. Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women in violation of state and federal law. New York AG finds. An investigation found that Cuomo acted improperly with several women from 2013 to 2020, retaliated against former employee who complained. New York Attorney General Letitia James announced Tuesday that her office's investigation into sexual harassment allegations against Governor Andrew Cuomo has concluded, and that they have found that Cuomo indeed sexually harassed multiple women. The Attorney General's probe, which included interviews with 179 people, found that Cuomo harassed current and former staff members from 2013 to 2020. That is a lot of work in 7 years. This is a sad day for New York because independent, and I'm quoting Letitia James here, so quote, "This is a sad day for New York because independent investigators have concluded that Governor Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women and in doing so broke the law." Now, I got to be honest with you. I did not believe that the dementia patient in the White House would come out against Governor Andrew Cuomo. I didn't think that it would happen, but apparently he's done just that. Hat tip, just the news. President Biden on Tuesday called on New York Governor Andrew Cuomo to resign following the state attorney general's report finding that the governor violated federal and state law on sexual harassment. Biden in a press conference would not say whether he believed Cuomo should be impeached and removed from office, but that he believed the state legislature was pursuing impeachment. Biden joined a chorus of other Democrats, including Senate Majority Leader Charles Schumer, who said Cuomo should step down in light of the findings. Cuomo isn't going anywhere. Cuomo isn't. Now, see, okay, you got to understand who the left is. Let me say this. If Cuomo goes somewhere, I will be shocked. This man is responsible for the death of over 10,000 seasoned citizens in his state, and he lied about it. He tried to fudge the numbers. Democrats allowed him to just sweep that under the rug. So let's do a comparison here. Let's do a comparison. So Governor Cuomo is responsible for the death of over 10,000 seasoned citizens, and the Department of Justice, Biden's Department of Justice, wipes the charges under the rug. But now, whoa, this is much bigger. This is much bigger, apparently. So killing over 10,000 seasoned citizens, no big deal, no big deal. Move along, nothing to see here. 11 women coming forward, 179 people interviewed, but in the end, about 11 women that they seemingly have a strong case for who claim sexual assault. So let me get this straight. Over 10,000 people murdered at the hands of, okay, let me be careful. Negligent homicide at the hands of Andrew Cuomo, or you got 11 women that have allegedly been sexually harassed and in some instances assaulted. Now, I think that Andrew Cuomo is a piece of dung. That is my personal feeling. I can't stand the guy. It's obvious that he's a prick. He's a conceited jerk. It's so obvious, a condescending, a moron. It comes across every time the guy speaks. But let's remember who the left is. The left created Andrew Cuomo. The left has told us for years that men and women aren't different. The left has told us that chivalry is toxic. The left has told us that men and women they're pretty much the same. You know, I can remember as a kid playing in mud. I had my G.I. Joes. You know, I like the G.I. Joes. So I had my G.I. Joes. I had my little He-Man and She-Ra. You know, I always had my He-Man Mac into the She-Ra. You know, he was riding his little green tiger. And I would play on the side of the house, and we would ride through the mud, and I'd be like, hey, with my He-Man, hey, what's up, baby? You know, playing with She-Ra, trying to hook up with She-Ra and all that kind of stuff. And then I would have my G.I. Joes in this little Jeep. I dug out this little this little swimming pool like type thing in the dirt on the side of our house and pretended like it was a little lake that they were meeting at and all this kind of stuff. And I just wanted to play in the mud and run around with the cars and push the guy and the girl in the car and stuff like that. And I'm confessing to my sister, if she's listening in L.A., I would go in her room. She had this huge Barbie collection, and sometimes I would. Don't tell her. Sometimes I would take her Ken and Barbie, and I would get one of her vehicles, and I would take it out there, and Ken and Barbie and G.I. Joe would double date, and that's just what we did. And we had it. And we had a good time. But men and women are different. But even as a kid, I instinctively knew male-female relationships, chivalry, a good thing, date, treat the woman right, so on, etc. So Andrew Cuomo is a creation of the left. Because for far too long, the left has told us that chivalry is toxic, that men and women are the same, that although men have a much more aggressive sexual appetite than women, and obviously that's in general. I realize there are some ladies out there that are, that are inclined or have a proclivity, sexual inclination or whatever, like men. I get that. But for the most part and in general, men have a very strong sexual appetite. And we've been told for years that men and women are not different. Andrew Cuomo has certainly bought into this. So what's the big deal? See, Andrew Cuomo is a creation of the left. And they know it. Everything Andrew Cuomo is doing, the left said this is okay for men to do. See, the left tells men, you know what? Kill your babies. If you get a girl pregnant, go ahead. Tell her to have an abortion. And they call this choice. They think this is really smart. They think killing a baby is a form of birth control. But you know what you've been telling these left-wing men like Andrew Cuomo is I can have sex without any accountability whatsoever. See, I can just have sex with you and I can move on. Who cares? Because men and women are the same. At least that's what the left told us. But the truth is, they're not. We're not. Masculinity and chivalry isn't toxic. It's needed. That's what America needs. We need dads to step up to the freaking plate. We need men to be men. We don't need the Laurel Hubbards, a.k.a. Big Larry, lifting weights, pretending like he's a man in the Olympics. And I'll get into that in the second hour. Because there's a war on womanhood. And you women, I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're on the far left. You're going to need to hear what I have to say, in my humble opinion. Because there's a war on womanhood. Not on women per se. And I'll make the differentiation. This is Carl Jackson, sitting in for the great Larry Elder, coming to you live from the Relief Factor studio. We'll be back in a few.